Hello, people of the planet. Welcome back to my channel. This is Port Charles Public Radio, brought to you by me. My name is Abby, and we're inside my apartment again. So let's talk about another boring Tuesday. I managed to count the locations this time. We had 6, and total, if you don't include Stella being in the elevator. There were 6 locations, and we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 19 people on screen today, if you include Sleazy, which I will because he has talking moments. Who do we want to talk about first? We can go ahead and announce Alexis and Neil's official breakup because, as he stated, he did not follow the code of ethics like he was supposed to. There's apparently a professional ethics that he, as a psychologist, or I guess as a doctor in general, should be following, which means you have to wait 2 years before you can date a patient that you previously saw. 2 years? How did he forget that? He was like, oh, I just thought it was a formality. Guess not. And also, okay, I want to look back and see, because did Laura go see Kevin or try to be his patient at one time? And he said no because he had feelings for her? Because if so, there's one. And also, like, does this code of ethics work for only psychiatrists? Because there's a lot of doctors, I'm sure, and nurses on this show that have seen patients. So, what a weird double standard, but like 2-year waiting period? Fuck. And he didn't want to wait that long. He was like, I'm tired of putting my life on hold. That's what happened with my first marriage. He said first marriage. So I wonder, when he said first marriage, is there a second marriage we should know about? We don't know who narked on him, if it was Kendra's mom or Kendra before she died, or one of the Donnies, or if it's Kevin, because he did talk to Kevin about it, so it could have been Kevin. But still, I'm pretty impressed that he chose Alexis after what they described as only 1.5 dates that was not consequential, meaning they did not have sex. They just did some kissing. I guess that's okay. You know what I mean? So, whatever. She also just doesn't want to be responsible for that, despite him wanting to choose her. So, they broke up, and she, I guess, will still be his legal counsel. There's no code of ethics, I guess, when it comes to like dating your lawyer. Whatever. So that's how we ended that, which sucks. I hope to see more of him. He said that, you'll be hearing from the review board soon. Yeah, I predict that they end up staying together. Despite whatever drama will come through this, they'll end up together. That is my prediction and my wish. So, I think she did the best that she could with that. She was like, hey man, I've had my livelihood get threatened like that, and I've had to go in front of the board, and it's fucked up, and I don't want to put you through that. I don't want to be a part of that. Good for her. Good for her for saying that, like, hey, I'm great and all, but I'm not worth your job. So, moving on from those two, we can do another small thing. Let's talk about Jordan and Curtis and this Bob person. They keep talking about him. This was another DEA agent who had a drug overdose, who was much older than, I guess, Jordan, and retired a while ago. So it's weird, but they brought Stella on for a hot second to talk to her about it. So I guess she's in town for a little bit. Maybe we're gonna finally get to figure out who this mysterious second cousin of hers is. Maybe they'll talk more about it. Maybe they are related to Trina, even though I think that's dumb. I would rather Trina be like Gia's daughter, so then she could be like secretly a Cassadine. That's what I hope. I really hope that Trina's not related to them. We don't need all the black people being related. I'm sorry. We don't need them all to be related. I know that we have like everyone else who is on the show that, they're white and are all relatively related, but like we don't have to do that with black people too. That's just fucked up. Like, can we just bring on some new characters or like bring in characters from the past or something? Anyway, yeah, so we're talking about, I forgot that Curtis had an addiction at one point. He still drinks alcohol. I know that like he went through it with Finn and helped him out, but I guess he chooses to still drink or something. I've seen that man catch a beer and they like drink beer, and they never discuss like when he's drinking that he like shouldn't be drinking. I guess Finn and Alexis being an alcoholic, and Finn being a drug addict like Curtis said he is. I guess they have chosen not to drink alcohol for obvious reasons, whereas Curtis, I guess, is strong enough to drink alcohol. Weird. And kind of, okay, whatever, good for him. He's strong-willed, I guess. Yeah, so they brought Stella in for a hot second to talk to her about how, like, obsessing over your dead friend's death is not going to bring him back. True story. I'm not really sure why they need to bring her on for that. I guess to prove that Jordan's going to keep obsessing, not because she wants to bring her dead friend back, but because finding the truth out about his murder would bring comfort to those who were the closest to him, especially her and his family. Whatever. I'm not sure who this all ties into, except maybe Sonny or Cassandra Pierce. I'm going to keep saying that because it's the only people I can really think of. Because who else has been... No one else brings drugs in. Nobody. So... whatever on that one. This is just another Tuesday. We're moving things along. So we talked about Jordan and Curtis. We could talk about how... yeah, let's go ahead with the memorial service freaks. So... Chase and everybody met up at the bar originally. Chase, Willow, Michael, and Jason. And then Chase had a dip because he got a call for a disturbance at the Floating Rib. But then they went from the bar over to the memorial service where, of course, excuse me, I must be tired, where... Harmony was there waiting. No, sorry, I lost it. Harmony got there. They arrived to find that Daisy Kwan is still very much obsessed with Shiloh's, cult and culthood and his speech or whatever he is, whatever. She's still obsessed, which sucks because I thought maybe we would get past that, but I mean, in the end, there's always going to be that one follower that knows that everything went down, but is still trying to cling. Go, Willow, for getting up there and telling everybody the truth. That, he's dead and we're still standing. He tried to take our souls from us. He manipulated us. And it worked. You should be celebrating that you're free. She was doing really good. And I was super proud of her in that first take. And then she turned around and started like yelling at his picture. And that was a little far for me. screw you, Shiloh. I'm glad you're dead, and I hope you burn in hell, you son of a bitch. And then Crazy Mausoleum now comes in. She's like, that's enough. You've said your piece. Now I need to say mine. Like, in this, like, crazy widow costume. It was, she looked super skinny, by the way, which tracks because she's in prison. I guess, they're not feeding you a lot, although I do know in prison, like, don't they mostly feed you, like, meats and proteins? I don't know. I really don't know. But, yeah, she looks super thin and tiny just from that profile we saw her in with that big ass headpiece. Um, yeah, I love that when she actually started talking, Michael was like, hold up. Like he had like the fear of God in his face. He was like, no. And she was like, yeah, I'm Nell. I'm your host. I'm his wife. And just like looks at all the people in the back, like directly at them, like, uh-huh. New form of crazy just showed up to this one. So, that was hilarious. I really wish that Chase was there for that one, but I mean, they didn't point out that like there was an officer nearby or show one, or I didn't directly see it, which sucks. She better not be out of prison without us knowing about it, because that'd be pretty dumb that they just released her without you know warning anybody, without Chase warning us about it. He would know, like he would find out about it, he would get an email and he would tell people. So this was weird. But maybe she's just got like a day pass or something, which I don't know. Even day pass, don't you still need an officer near you? I don't know. Maybe the officer is standing outside by the doors or something. Um, so yeah, I can't wait to see what kind of crazy Nell's gonna bring tomorrow, because I love Nell and her crazy shit. So maybe she's the one who's going after ELQ. That's a little far fetched. I mean, she obviously is trying to take like Shiloh's shares because she's his wife. Maybe she's pregnant. Maybe those two like had a crazy like conjugal visit before, or a couple, so then she could get pregnant. That would be crazy, because then we'd actually have a crazy Shiloh Nell baby out there, who could grow up to be crazy. I'm excited about that. And it would technically be a brother to Wiley, except not really, because that's not his family. So they could just keep pushing that storyline for years to come. Um, um, yeah, no Christina or Sam. Shocker. I love that they threw that one in there, that she changed her mind last minute that she wasn't going to come. I guess they just don't like Christina on camera, which sucks. I mean, I guess it makes sense for Sam not to go, because maybe someone would want to kill her because she did kill Shiloh. That was smart of her to not go, and to stay the fuck away from Jason so he can go. But fuck, shut up. I'm sorry. I'm tired. But I'm upset that Christina didn't go, because I like Christina and I want to see more of her face. Damn it. But whatever. Moving on from her. Let's see. Sorry guys, I have to like look at my notes to try to differentiate what goes on. We talked about those people. Yeah, so I'm excited to see Nell's crazy ass bring some shit up. I guess yeah, we could backtrack. So because Michael had to like not do a shareholder, what about our shareholders meet? Which I thought that's what Tracy said yesterday. What about our stock? I guess she said, what about our stockholders meeting? Maybe she owns stock, but she doesn't have any shares, because that's what Ned said to her today, was that you don't own a single share. Why would they reach out to you? Oh, because you have proxy to Dylan shares. So I guess kids were granted shares and like other people in the family have bought stock. I guess Michael being CEO, maybe he's got like 51% of the stock. I don't know how that works because he's pretty rich. Um, so yeah, so I forgot how that all works. That was interesting to find out. She was letting us know that some weird investors came in and approached her, and he was like, "Why would they approach you?" Oh, because you have Dylan's proxy? What did they say? Oh, they wanted ELQ. And when I told them no, they seemed like weird mediators for somebody else. Um, they went after Luke. Oh, okay. How'd they go after Luke? Counterfeit tulips. Fucking Luke. Of course. Of course. He like counterfeited some tulips. And Amsterdam or wherever Eastern Europe he's at. So they got him out of that trouble because I guess he went to jail for that or got busted for that or something. And they were like, yeah, we'll make your problem go away and give us the LQ. Fuck. Can't stop yawning. And Tracy wasn't having it. She was like, no, that doesn't work. Buzz off. And then she came back here to warn us about it. Who's going after it? Is it Nell? Is it whoever's going after Sonny and trying to like burn his place to the ground? Who is it? I don't know. I don't know. My vote is Nell, but I'm unfamiliar with this territory of who it could be. It's obviously not another Q. What if it's Nicholas? It could be Nicholas. He's getting crazy. Not crazy, but he's getting like evil. So it could be Nicholas. Yeah. That's another good vote right there. I think it could be him. Yeah, so they were in the middle of that conversation. Tracy was like, you need to get up out of here and like go fight for this company because Michael is going to get blindsided about this. He's creating a profit loss because he's out here making ELQ about hugging trees. I love that line. And, reusable and sustainable energy. And that's like, what's wrong with helping the planet? You ever heard of climate change? She's like, yeah, profit loss. Okay, fuck you, Tracy. Climate change is real. You little Republican or whatever you are. I don't mean to put anybody in a box, but like, we need to fix our planet, okay? People of the planet, if you hear me, climate change is real. And who gives a fuck about profit loss? But I'm glad they put somebody like that back in the show. So then, we're reminded that people out there in the world like that exist. So they got interrupted by Laura coming over to let them know that she's been talking with her constituents. Interesting. Her voters want her to renovate the waterfront. Says, she was against the idea of gentrifying Charles Street, which was part of the waterfront, because all those people would have had to leave their house. But I guess the people of the waterfront is who she's been talking to. The people who are at the piers above Pier 26. They want renovations and better land, I guess. Okay. And, Tracy and Ned were like, yeah, we're all for it. But Sonny's going to take a big hit for that, because he controls that. So Michael's not going to go for this because he's not going to go against his father. So it's probably not going to work, is what Ned said. And Laura's like, and I fucking love Laura for this because she's so good at like not making things a big deal and just kind of placating things. That's why she's mayor. She's like, yeah, I know that this is extremely delicate, So if you have any advice for how I could broach this topic with Michael, I'd love to hear it. That was funny. That was really funny. I don't know how many piers there are. I feel like I've heard things like Pier 52, is where meet me at Pier 52, and I feel like I've seen like Pier 19 or up on the wall or whatever. So I don't know how they're gonna do that one. I want to know who's behind this whole like waterfront gentrification, renovation, not gentrification, because it's all rich people there anyway. Who's behind that? Is it somebody who's also, is it the same person who's gunning after Sonny? They want control of the waterfront again, even if that means like just cutting him out and making it brand new and shiny again. I don't know. Gearing up for some fun to see this all get tied in together to March Madness, and maybe we're gonna figure out who this bad guy is. Maybe it's Jerry Jacks working with Nicholas. Oh, plot twist. That would be fucking weird and cool. I don't know. Tracy needs to STF up, okay? Talking to Laura, and she says, do you have any advice that I could have for reaching out to Michael? She brought in, she was like, just be patient, give it time. Michael might not be running ELQ much. She said it with such a smirk of like, are you happy about that? Or again, are you just trying to push Ned into doing it? Because Michael not running ELQ is a terrible idea, especially for your family. Like, getting a rando CEO that's not what anybody wants. So Tracy's a dumb bitch. Just saying. You would lie, Tracy. You would lie. That's all I'm gonna say about her. Yeah, and then they all got phone calls. Not all of them, but like Ned and Laura got phone calls to go to the PCPD because there was a brawl. Let's talk about that one, because I think that's the last thing that we could talk about here, was what happened at the Floating Rib. Dusty still got it. She said, what did she say? How is it that just in the nick in time I have the escape, or not the escape, but like the rescue from my knight in shining armor? Oh wow, he's your knight in shining. Dusty still got it. Okay, I don't think he's interested in her anymore. She's still flirting with him, so my best bet is that maybe they went to college together. That's what I'm gonna think, is that they must have gone to college together, but I don't know where she went. If she went to PCU, he's a teacher, so if she went to some expensive, not state school, but like a private school, why would he do that if he's like a high school teacher? I don't know. I don't know, but my guess is old boyfriend. She said Dusty still got it, so he must have been back in the day like a boxer or a brawler, a boy that could fight. I don't know, but I can't wait to hear what that will be. Sleazy is super annoying. Even after Brooklyn, she straight up like hit Chase over the head with that bottle, which bless Lulu's little heart for trying her best to break it up by grabbing that pool triangle and just trying to hit him with it. And then here comes Brooklyn with the pool stick. And then last but not least with the bottle, except hit Chase with it. Yeah, those two, they don't look like they're going to get along for a while. I bet he's going to have it out. Those two are going to not have a good get along the next couple. I don't know what to say, but they're not going to get along. They're just not going to. I can see it, especially afterwards when she was like, "Oh, I have such delicate skin. Why are you torturing me? Like, I'm gonna sue." Brooklyn, shut the fuck up. Like, whining and bitching and complaining is not gonna help your situation any better. You still assaulted this man. You should butter him up so he doesn't like press charges, because That's definitely a felony, hitting a cop. And also, Sleazy just kept talking after all of that happened. He just kept going and kept going. Like, don't you understand? I own you. I own your voice and blah, 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 blah. And Chase was like, shut up. Shut up. This guy is too confident. And I really hope that this sexual harassment charge that he about to get is going to do something for her. And if it doesn't, maybe that's going to help us shed light on the issues that we have all seen at large, because he even said, don't me too me out of this. Dude, that's exactly what this is. Like, you are her boss, and you have apparently very binding language in this contract that says if she does not produce 3 albums for you, she's gonna have to either owe you money or like owe you something else. Like, is that really in your contract? You sleazy, really? You think that? How does that happen? I mean, it's not like she's talked about signing an NDA, R. Kelly. Like, I don't know, but that boy's got some cojones to just keep on and keep it on like that. And then Chase, as she's like whining at him, he's like, if you want, I could put you in the cell with your producer. And she's like, no, like, Chase, this guy sexually harassed her. And you want to throw them in the same cell together because you're that pissed off at her? That was a shitty move. That was a shitty joke. I didn't like that one. Apparently, they are making light of this situation. And sexual assault is a serious fucking thing. Just gonna throw that out there. Last but not least, because Dusty is going to jail for this, or, he got arrested over this, is he going to lose his job just like Willow did? Because Willow sat in contempt. Okay, it wasn't overnight. I think it was for like a week. So she missed work for like a week because she got arrested. And even, I think, telling her sap story about like why she got arrested to the principal, I think it worked, but she just like didn't show up to the reinstatement thing like she was supposed to, so she didn't get her job back. Something weird like that. But anyway, I hope this kind of fucks with Dusty a little bit, because it's a little unfair that this woman was held in contempt for a week because of the whole thing with her baby daddy, that she had to give this child up because he was a stalker and she was protecting her child, and like having to admit all that publicly, which she shouldn't have done. She should have just fought for her fucking job like in private. But whatever. The fact that like other women had to get involved and make this whole thing about it just so she could keep her job back is super, super annoying. If in the end, if here we are down the road, Dusty Bear, I really hope it's Dusty Bear, not just Dusty, doesn't have to face any sort of charges unless, he just stays overnight and no one finds out about it and he gets to keep his job. Whatever. That's, my prediction on that one is that he may or may not lose his job. And if he doesn't, that's fucked up that Willow did. Just saying. He's got a black eye, so that could be grounds for termination because he got into a public bar fight and was arrested for it. But if so, it's going to be Brooklyn's fault, and then there's going to be a huge fight with Lulu and Brooklyn, and they're going to figure out, like, what do we do with these teachers? They keep firing these teachers. What do we do with them? What do we do with these teachers? Yeah, I think that's it. I didn't see the scenes for tomorrow yet. I hope Hump Day is going to be better than today, because on a Tuesday, nothing's ever really that good. I think last week I skipped Tuesday and kind of blended it with Wednesday because I had other shit going on. But yeah, guys, thanks for tuning in with me. Please comment or say something down below if you're interested in having a conversation about the predictions. And what happened in this episode. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you tomorrow.